Welcome back to Mideast in Depth. Today's focus is on the latest Iran-US nuclear weapons talks. In the Washington Post, David Ignatius comments that the US and Iran should proceed with caution when it comes to negotiations on nuclear weapons. He asks, what should the United States and Iran do if the talks fail? My answer would be that, at least initially, both sides would be wise to do nothing. He writes, in this finger-pointing, any new US sanctions could make Iran look like the victim. An Iranian push to resume large-scale enrichment would reinforce the case that Iran is pushing toward making a nuclear weapon. He asks, what would a collapse of the talks mean for a Middle East that is already wildly unstable? He explains, Iranians seem convinced that with the rise of the terrorist Islamic State, the United States needs Iran's help in Iraq. But the counter-argument could also be made. Iran has chaos on its borders. A rupture in the talks would leave it fighting multiple enemies with no reliable allies. He states, Iran must also reckon with the dangerous prospect that Saudi Arabia, Egypt and perhaps Turkey would begin their own bomb-making programs in a post-negotiation world. In response to the question, is the moment ripe for a deal with Iran, Ignatius is doubtful, but that doesn't mean it's a good time to go to battle stations in a confrontation that could lead to another Middle East war. Not when Iran is isolated internationally and embattled in its neighborhood, and needs an agreement more than its leaders seem to realize. The editorial in Lebanon's Daily Star states that Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, appears to offer a positive spin on the course of the talks after a previous series of relatively downbeat assessments. The editorial continues by saying Iran appears to be getting everything it wants from the United States, anxious to conclude a deal on the nuclear program. The deadlines for making progress in the talks in March and in June of this year pale in significance to the only deadline that matters, Barack Obama's quest for his first foreign policy achievement before he leaves office in 2016 in the form of a reconciliation with Iran. It concludes, thus, the White House is sailing full steam ahead on a policy of appeasing the Islamic Republic, with the violent and destructive repercussions for the Arab world surface over the following years and decades, conveniently after Obama and his team are no longer public officials. For more updates, please visit Levant.tv. And subscribe to Mideast in Depth on iTunes. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.